Going to get an education on what inputs are, what this is.
Tuesday, January 19th, I'm showing it's 10 o'clock a.m. This is the monthly emergency management team meeting for updates about what's going on in town and around town. Chief Rich Pauly, I'm going to run the meeting today, and I'll just welcome everyone. And Chief Hurley, do you have anything?
Nope, just good morning, everyone, and happy 2021.
Yeah, so actually, this is the first meeting of the new year, so let's hope that goes well of our emergency management team. I don't know if Hillary's here. I don't see her.
I don't see her, but
That
I'm going to
doesn't-
text her just to see if she's going to come on.
Okay. And I know Department of Public Works is not available this morning. So why don't we run down to community services, write down the agenda, and we'll wait to see if Hillary comes around. But is Becky or Suzanne around?
Suzanne's not here.
But
Okay.
Becky is here.
All right. Hey, Becky.
Oh, hey, good morning, Chief. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sounds good. So I do have a few updates with the rec department. Let's see, for the winter months, we've been modifying programming to include an after-school running program, Saturday family fun hikes, open skating sessions, and a learn to skate program through the Charles Moore Arena. We're also handing out activity packs during all the vacations to elementary school age children. So far, we've handed out about 50 activity packs, and we have more scheduled to go out for the, let's see, for the upcoming February vacation week. Virtual activities have include Bingo Night, monthly live streaming concerts from Wellfleet Preservation Hall, featuring some of our talented local musicians, and we're in the process of planning a virtual showcase with a local talent, which will be streamed from the What Theater stage in March. Planning is also underway for virtual art, cooking, and yoga classes. So if folks want more information, they can log on to the Town of Wellfleet website, and that will give them a detailed description as well as sign-up links. So I wanted to also just mention the department is grateful to all community organizations and volunteers for supporting these efforts, and ever grateful, of course, to Hillary for helping us navigate the COVID protocols in order to continue to reach out to the community in as many ways as possible. She has an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I think understands how much benefit there can be to having live programming that's safe within the protocols. So we're really happy that we're able to do, some things that reach out to the community. I also wanted to just briefly say the winter usage of the Bakersfield Playground and Skateboard Park has been higher than usual due to the unseasonably mild temperatures and increased population of families in town. The department wants to remind the public to please continue to be respectful of the posted COVID protocols, as there are no monitors on duty at this time. So folks have been really, for the most part, good about it. We've had some complaints about people not wearing masks and it being overcrowded. And again, it's just one of those things where you have to sort of police each other. If it looks too crowded, go across the street to the beach, take a walk, come back, and inevitably it might be less crowded. But we think that folks are really trying hard to follow the protocols, and we are optimistic that we can keep the facility open. So hopefully it continues to stay warm enough to use it. And that's all I have this morning, Chief.
Okay, thank you, Becky. I see that Hillary's with us now, so I'm going to circle back to Hillary and then go to to Terry Fraser after Hillary.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I must have been waiting in a non-existent virtual waiting room. But here I am. I think perhaps one of the most important things I can let the community know about today is this COVID helpline. I'm thinking about calling it for all of my mental health needs, in addition to any COVID questions I might have. And this is being run and staffed by Barnstable County Department of Health and Environment. And the number is 774-330-3001. It is staffed by live bodies Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. And so I think the hope is that people will call that number and ask questions about when they can get their vaccine, where they can get their vaccine, let them know that the vaccine isn't rolling out fast enough, talk to them about what Florida's doing, get word to the county, because they may have some more answers, or they may get a faster response. I myself am being bogged down with tons of calls every day about people wanting to know where they can get their vaccine, how they're going to get it, exact times and dates. And of course, we still do not have that information. So the rollout in the Commonwealth is slower than in other states from what I'm gathering. We do know that our COVID-facing healthcare workers have been vaccinated. We know that our first responders have been vaccinated. We're moving into congregate care, correctional facilities, shelters next. Then we will get healthcare workers that are not COVID forward facing. And then in February, we begin with folks, the older population, folks with 2 comorbidities, and a whole host of other people, grocery workers, essential workers, public health workers, DPW workers. The list is long. It doesn't include everyone. And from what I've gathered over the past couple weeks, there will be 5 regional clinic locations on Cape Cod. Throughout the Commonwealth, there will be a number of other locations. There will be a map on the DPH website that's being populated as we speak. So there will be 5 locations on Cape Cod with large regional vaccination clinics going on. The hope is that starting in February, people will start to go there. The scheduling will be done online through an online scheduler. It's called PrepMod, and we'll be happy to walk people through the scheduling process once we get more information on that. There will be one somewhere from Orleans to Provincetown, so folks in Wellfleet don't need to be too concerned about driving to Barnstable if they don't want to select a location further down Cape. And then we also know that the communities on the Outer Cape have asked to hold smaller vaccination clinics in our towns after we roll out the larger regional sort of mass vaccination clinics, because we get better throughput and better productivity at a larger clinic than we're going to get at a small local clinic. But there will be the option to have the local clinic in Wellfleet. So we have requested that, and that will be occurring as well. In addition to all of those options, there are certain Walgreens and CVS's that will be offering the vaccine as well. So the hope is from the state that there will be many options for folks to go to get their vaccine. However, they have not rolled it out to the public yet where exactly these locations are, on what days and what times, and how to schedule. So needless to say, people are concerned, they're eager, they're excited, they want to know more information than we have. And unfortunately, the state is slow to roll it out. So they tell us we'll know by February. And you know, that's the best we can do. And it doesn't feel like it's enough to people. And I get that. So, you know, they can call me, they can call the county, they can get upset, they can yell, but I still can only provide the information that I have. So that being said, I'm happy to answer any questions. We've had 6 cases in the past 2 weeks. We have Outer Cape Health still offering the free Binax testing through February. The county still offering testing at their 2 facility locations at the fairgrounds and at the Melody Tent. And I think that's all I have for now.
Thank you, Hillary. Does anyone have any questions for Hillary?
Helen has her hand raised.
Yeah, I've got my hand up. It's Helen. I know not one, not two, but three different households, two of which have people way over 75, or some of them are over 75, who have comorbidities. And they are taxpayers, but here on the Outer Cape, but they're not domiciled here, but they've been here for quite a while. Are they going to be eligible, because they are here and they do need to be vaccinated? Are they going to be eligible even though they're not domiciled residents?
So yes, the state of Massachusetts is not going to turn folks away from vaccine. We want to vaccinate everyone and anybody that's interested in receiving a vaccine. To speak to that point, I've asked the question, are folks going to have to roll up to the clinic with, letters from their doctor saying they have obesity and high blood pressure? And the answer to that is no. So we don't need people to go out and get letters from their doctors and, tax the doctor's offices more. It's going to be sort of, perhaps there'll be an attestation document, or it's going to be, by your word. So we're not going to make this difficult. Now, that was the message that I heard loud and clear last week and the week before. Things change, obviously. So as of right now, people are just going to schedule their appointment and perhaps sign an attestation form when they receive their vaccine. But the object is not to make it difficult and not to make it, any harder for folks than it is.
Thank you.
I see Janet's got her, Janet Drohan's got her hand raised. Good morning. You're muted, Janet.
Just an organizational question, Hillary. If
Yes.
you get the first vaccine in Barnstable, can you get the second? Do you need to go back to Barnstable for the follow-up?
That's an answer I don't know.
Okay.
My guess is when you schedule one, you schedule two. So
Okay,
you may
okay.
have a choice of locations, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Hillary?
Nancy Chavetta had a shellfish question. I don't know if there's any shellfish folks on the line, but she was asking if shellfishermen fall into the second phase of folks, and they do fall into that second phase because it is agriculture. So like I said, we're not going to make this more difficult for people. If you can pass the straight face test and line up with one of those things, then we're going to vaccinate you.
Yeah, just not to, I agree with you, Hillary. Chief Hurley and I had that discussion this morning, that clearly they fall under agricultural.
Yeah.
And clearly they should be have the ability to be vaccinated if they want to. So
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah,
on the
I'm on board.
we're on the same page there.
Good.
Any other questions for Hillary?
Oh, there's Nancy.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to circle back to community services. I see Terry Frazier's on the line. Good morning, Terry.
Oh,
You're
there I
muted.
am. Good morning.
Oh, you're muted again.
Sorry. Thank you for that, Hill. We've been getting a lot of phone calls, so I'm glad to hear some of that. For the COA, we have been still doing our meal every Friday to 50 people. We have a core group of volunteers and deliver meals to 50 homebound elders, thanks in large part to Chief Hurley and Sergeant Turner and Dispatcher Miller, who have sort of jumped and ran with that program. It's been great. It's turned into a real sort of friendly visitor, which is great. Some of those people only see someone on Fridays when we show up. So that program has been terrific. We got a wait list. So that's pretty much it for us. A lot of phone calls about the vaccine. How can they get on a list? How can they prove that they are sicker than the person who's ahead of them on the list? Pretty much probably the same thing that Hillary's hearing a lot of.
Although I get yelled at a lot.
You know, we don't get yelled at, but we don't send anyone over to you to yell at you. But that meal program has turned out to be terrific, and we're working with the Common Table at Fox and Crow to see if we have any overlap. Unfortunately, we don't have any more room, but we could, if we had the manpower and the money and the ability, to easily do 25 more people. But the Common Table fills in a good gap for us too. And Janet's program will as well. So it's been great. And the police have been just phenomenal. We've got new people on the reassurance program. The COA staff has been jumping in the past couple weeks and doing meal delivery. It's been terrific. It's been more than I think the COA or the police ever thought it was going to be.
Well, that's great news. Thank you, Terry, and certainly Janet and Common Table, because they're really meeting a need in the community right now, both, you know, from a food standpoint, and I think from a outreach standpoint, so people don't feel like they're forgotten out there.
Yeah,
And
very much so.
We all need that right now. All right, any questions for Terry? All right, then I'm going to finish up community services. I see Jen's here from the library. Good morning, Jen.
Morning. Hello, everybody. The library is going really well. Everything's going really smoothly. We are gearing up with a lot of programming. We're starting with seminars, and this month we have Mort Ingers doing his short story seminar. We're really excited about that, and stay tuned for other types of learning opportunities, because those will be coming down the pike. We're really going to be putting on a lot of stuff this winter. We also have the 6th annual Wellfleet Artist Show. We're not letting that go just because we don't have our meeting room. So we are doing that virtually, and the submissions are due on January 31st. Email them to Naomi Robbins, naomi.robbins, ROBBINS at wellfleet-ma.gov. You can see the flyer right on our homepage, wellfleetlibrary.org, to see the instructions on how to submit a piece and what to submit. And this year, we're kind of saying anybody could submit one. We're usually pretty specific because there's not room in the room that it has to be somebody from Wellfleet, but go ahead and submit it. Anybody, all ages, and all media, and a little bit of an artist statement. Also coming soon, we'll be offering seeds again. We had an unprecedented amount last year, a lot of new gardeners, and a lot of people who use seeds for food during this time, their time in quarantine. And that really meant a lot to us. And we were incredibly grateful for the friends who funded our seed program. And stay tuned for that. We'll be starting that up again. We participated this past weekend in the Martin Luther King Walk on Your Own, and had displayed artwork in our windows that children had made regarding themes around Martin Luther King and peace and whatnot. And the final thing is that when you come to get your books for or your materials for curbside, or even if not, we have boxes for dropping off food for the food pantry, and that has been going really, really well. So just letting you know that's there. And on a final note, please check out our homepage for our electronic resources. Even if you're not someone who reads ebooks or e-magazines, there are audios, there are films, There are all sorts of virtual resources there that we've really beefed up during this time, and we're really proud of, and people are really using, and we hope that the community takes advantage of because they're pretty amazing. And that is what I have.
Excellent. Thank you, Jennifer. Does anyone have any questions for Jen? I don't know. Rebecca, can you see anyone's hand raised? I see
Hillary
Hillary.
has her hand raised. Yep.
A question. Can you send an ebook from the library to your Kindle?
Yes, absolutely. We can have a phone call. And well,
Okay.
if you download an app called Libby, if you go to our website, if you go to our homepage and you follow the link for Libby and you
Okay.
download that app, it will kind of walk you through it. But yes, absolutely. And it goes, you could go right to your Kindle and you never have to buy a book again. You might have to be on a wait list for a while, but
Amazing.
save a lot of money. Yeah, and we will, and Hillary, we will open our doors way sooner if we could get vaccines in an earlier group.
Duly noted.
You could make a lot of money, Hillary. Chief, could
Wait a
I?
minute, no, wait a minute. Remember, this is a public meeting, folks. Any other questions for Jennifer? All right, I'm gonna move on. I actually, I see Paul Fowler is here. Paul's our new building inspector in town. Welcome. If you have anything you'd like to say, Paul, or?
Morning, Chief. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
It's been a busy couple of weeks here in 2021. A lot of calls about the 1065 Route 6 there with the clearing that was going on there. So that's been busy. And we just issued a permit to the third recreational marijuana dispensary in town. So we've got some activity there, but just the usual permits coming in, and it's been a busy couple of weeks.
All right, any questions for Paul? First of all, I know we've had a couple of meetings together, he and I, and certainly Captain Capello, and we're finding the relationships working out really well as I anticipated it would. So thank you, Paul, and we're looking forward to the summer.
Thanks, Chief. All right.
Next I have on the agenda is the Shellfish Department. Good morning, Nancy.
Yep, here I am. Hi.
Good morning.
We are going to be hopefully initiating a restaurant shell recycling program with the Mass Oyster Project. So it's just been a brand new thing, and they're actually going to run the program, but it will be to the benefit of the town, because then we can collect oyster and clam shells for free and have them overwinter at the transfer station, and that will supplement the culch, sea clam shell culch that we get. So just happened, and we're in the works trying to get that done. But you'll probably hear more of it later. But it's just a nugget of an idea, and Mass Oyster Project will implement it so it doesn't create any extra work for the department. And other than that, the farmers market is going really well, the Shellfishman's Farmers Market, and it's every Saturday from 12 to 2. You pre-order in advance. The smallest quantities are usually about 25 oysters or 25 little necks or clams. We might also have some scallops from a local vessel, but you pre-order at wellfleetshellfishermen.org. And then you just drive right up. You don't even have to get out of your car. You give your name and pop your trunk, and the shellfishermen that have harvested the oysters and clams put it right in your trunk. Some people haven't understood yet that you have to order online, so we do have people turning up without pre-orders, and we're trying to kind of beef up what we have in Holbrook Oysters truck so that we can make some sales right there on site. But we're encouraging people and educating people about doing it online first. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the Wellfleet Shellfishermen's Association, who really stepped up to the plate and are making it happen with a lot of help from Ryan Curley And we couldn't even do this if it wasn't for Holbrook Oyster, because they are our dealer of record, and therefore all the shellfish is duly processed, tracked, time temperature controlled, and they've just been an amazing partner in this. So if you see those guys out and about, you can thank them, because it's really changed the morale in the community. There's so much positive energy now when it could be really dark. So really pleased about that. And those are probably the only two things that are different right now. So thanks.
Thank you, Nancy. And I certainly echo what you're saying. There's just been an incredible outpouring of support for the shell fishermen and putting the whole program together. Really, really remarkable. And I think everyone has a right to be proud of the things that you guys are getting accomplished on that front. Any
Yeah, we have
questions?
an amazing community.
Yeah, we do. We certainly
Yep.
do. Any questions for Nancy, please?
Yeah,
Helen
two
has her hand up.
Yeah, this is really through you to Maria and Rebecca. Would it be possible to have right there on our homepage, when you open it up, not having to go to the shellfish department section of our website, a link to the farmers market, the shellfishing farmers market, because I've been sending it to people one by one, and I would rather just refer to them to the town website. And I think it's worth advertising now. And, you know, there's some room on there in that little central box. That's the first thing. The other thing is, Nancy, you may have, of course, already done this on the shellfish department page, but the dates for the category of vaccines, is it phase 2 that agricultural workers can now have? Because for me, that's breaking news. Is that posted on the shellfish?
It's not yet, because I just found out today. So hold on, let me just see what Chief Hurley said. We're going to be phase 2, group 2. And that would be our department as well as shell fishermen, because they are involved in the production of food.
Yes, and to have that posted, which I'm sure you'll do, so
Yeah.
that, yeah. Okay,
I'll probably
thank
do a
you.
crier about it, and then, yeah, put it up on our website.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Nancy?
Back, come here.
Jenny? Oh, I'm sorry, Rebecca?
Nope, no hands are raised. You're all set.
Okay.
I want to just give a report on the Soups On program.
Oh, go ahead, Janet.
A real
Certainly,
short
please.
one, real short one. I promise I won't talk too much, which is unusual. We're up to 35 quarts a week that we're giving out. We cater also to vegetarians. We have 5 people who come who request vegetarian soup. We're working very closely with Common Table. Anything we have left over in our salads, we give quarts of soup, a loaf of bread, and anything else that PB decides they want to give us on Monday night, i.e. pastries, etc. sometimes in the little bag, and a large salad. So any salad we have left over and that we share with Common Table as they do with us. We also have people who cannot take advantage of us who are guests of Common Table. So they deliver to 3 people the next day for us. What the main thing I wanted to share with everybody in this group today is that we were asked by the Well Line to be a vehicle of communication. So in our 35 tonight bags that we're going to put in information about the Well Line and Wellfleet and their coffee and conversation that they're having starting February. So I just wanted to open up this vehicle of communication to anyone who would like to use it, because we can put lots of little notes in it. And I think that will make the people who are getting the soup feel a part of the community also. So use it as a community vehicle if you'd like to, with anything. So that's my offer.
Excellent. Thank you, Janet. Very much appreciated. Any questions for Janet? All right, we're going to move on to the Marina and the Harbor Master's office. I see Will's on the line. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, everyone. Dredging has ceased here for the winter, except for a small portion underneath the pier. So the crowds have significantly ceased as well, which is making it a little bit nicer for a lot of walkers and people around here. But all in all, pretty quiet down here now. And, you know, we do have that large dirt pile going on and dewatering in front of Max on the public beach there, where all the picnic tables, the town picnic tables are usually during the summer. And those will be moved to different beaches in town. But otherwise, just everything is winter down this way.
Excellent. Any questions for Will?
Yeah, it's Helen again. So Will, you know, I went down a couple of times to walk around at dusk, which is when I have time to do it around the marina. And you know that there are these signs that say you're supposed to go in one direction. And both times I encountered people like me who wanted to take a walk with their dogs, all fine, but they were going in the opposite direction, which is kind of a problem. And should we change where you start? In other words, I'm talking about 7 different couples or individuals walking the other way. Maybe it's intuitive that they want to go clockwise, but for some reason, they don't start near the harbor master's building. They start on the other side, you know, where it comes off Kendrick. And could we change the signs? Because I stopped going because it just didn't feel safe. People for the most part used masks, but you know, it's lit and I stopped using it. It was too much. I don't like to tell people again and again, you know, you should be going the other way. That's not what I want to do on a walk. So Will, what do you think? What have you observed?
I think that some people have their standard route depending on the way they walk. Some people start over here at the harbor master's building. Some people park at the beginning and then walk around and finish. But what I have noticed is that people will change the direction that they walk based on the weather as well. For instance, if you have a longer walk with the wind, you know, mainly the wind's blowing 20 knots down here. If you're walking with it in your face, it's a little more comfortable to walk at it with your back. So people have changed direction based on that. Also the sun, you know, getting a little bit of sun, or if they're just doing a partial part of it. You know, some people, it just kind of, you know, like right now, I mean, Capabilities just left. That's probably our biggest thing of the day. They come every day and then they do their walk depending on the weather pattern. And otherwise, it's not too many people down here. Of course, a gorgeous sunset would probably be the busiest time that we'd have down here, especially with no wind.
Actually, for me, it was just after, you know, the sunset at dusk, because that's when I have time. But maybe, you know, so as not to have people breaking a requirement, you know, violating a sign. I can't talk English. Take the signs away, because based on what you said, they're going to do it anyway. And once again, I was there twice. It was after dark. You guys weren't there. And most people, I was the only person going, you know, in the counterclockwise way. And there were a lot of people. I think people come out with their dogs, you know, then, and that's good. We need to use it. Maybe get rid of the signs so that people aren't actually breaking the law, and, you know, just work it out. Thank you. I mean, I'm not able to tell you to do that. I'm just suggesting it as one person who uses it, not as a select board member. Thank you.
I know usually less signs is better for everyone. It causes a lot less tension. Because
Yeah,
you do
people-
people are so repetitive in their pattern that even with the way they drive around the pier, they have to do the loop in a certain manner, and we see them all day. And if anything's in the way, it's, you know, it throws them off. I mean, people just get into such a pattern in life.
Mhm.
And change is hard sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with Will. You know, as much as we'd like to, we're not going to be able to change a lot of folks' thinking. And I would recommend that probably we'll get together and have a conversation with Maria about this, and you guys figure it out. I know you will, you know, but yes, Maria.
Yeah, I actually, you know, Will and I talked about it recently. And also looking at whether signage is a reimbursable expense. But, you know, the biggest thing is whether people are wearing the masks or not to follow the governor's direction. You know, if you're wearing the mask, does it really matter what direction you're walking?
No.
There's some, you know, someone has taken some of the signs that were installed before, and Will and I actually had a short conversation about installing signs where the brakes and the railing are. Actually attach them to the railing to make them harder to steal. Just something that says, you know, please wear a mask.
Sure.
Or, you know, mask required, because that's what we really want. And if they're wearing a mask, you know, I don't care if they spin around in circles, you know, because that's the big thing. And to keep whatever the 6 foot distance from one another. You know, Hillary probably agree with me that it doesn't hurt to have signs, but honestly, once signs have been there for a while, you stop actually reading them. You see them, but you don't read them. So, and you know, we could use a couple of signs down on Main Street because I haven't seen any. But if that was one of the things I was looking at, whether or not they're reversible, because you know, we might want to get some signs up down there. But it doesn't really matter to me what direction people walk.
Yeah, I agree on this, Marie. I agree with you.
With that too. I agree with that too.
Helen, another thing that some people will do to stay away from others is walk kind of the inside of it. Instead of on the sidewalk, if they see people, they'll cut out at one of the little exits and then get back on to just avoid people. That happens with dogs a lot.
Yeah, that happens, you know, on the sidewalk too.
Yeah.
You know, people just, you know, intentionally give someone else walking towards them a little space. That's what best we can hope for, really.
Okay, well, I think we've hit that one pretty good. Any other questions for the Harbor Master's office? Okay, I don't see any. We'll move it along because we're trying to keep the meetings to an hour. So on the fire department, I'm very proud and pleased to report that we have 100% of members that received their first vaccine. We're one of the only departments on the Cape where we had 100% buy-in, and I'm proud of my folks. So we had that last week at the First Responders Clinic in Orleans at the DPW. And to just kind of give you a little bit of insight, it really went well. I think I can't promise, but in my conversations with the other public safety chiefs and with Sean O'Brien up at the county, I think that's a model that they may try for us as we roll out to the other vaccination eligible folks. Orleans, they do it very well right at their DPW building. It's a drive-in clinic. And it's just, you know, my hat's off to Jeff, Chief Deering up there at Orleans Fire, who really coordinated a lot of this with Sean O'Brien from the county. So I would anticipate that that's probably going to be a potential model that's available as things change here. So we'll be mindful of that and get that information out to the public as soon as we get it. We're advertising for, we have 2 new positions that we're seeking to fill. And I anticipate a retirement this spring. So we're advertising for firefighter paramedics or firefighter EMTs. Open burning has started. Open burning season started January 15th. We have a box out in the lobby. Again, if you you can print out the permit application. Please put a check for $15 to the town of Wellfleet. Put it in the box, and then we check it every day, and we put you on the list, and you're good to go. Certainly, if you have any questions, give us a call. Just one other thing is already we're having some discussions with some of the restaurant owners and operators. I know we're January 19th, but last year's I think rollout of the outside dining went well, and I'm going to recommend to the select board that we continue that this year. It was pretty seamless between fire, police, health, and the building department, getting these sites approved and operational. So we'll be looking at, again, I'll be making a recommendation to the town administrator and the select board that we follow the same process that we did last spring to expedite things and make it a little easier for our businesses. And finally, Chief Hurley and I spoke this morning. As you recall, we started out doing these meetings twice a month on the off Tuesdays with the select board meeting. We went to this once a month. I think right now with an uptick in COVID and certainly with clinics, information being needed, and we're coming into town meeting season already, we'll go back to every other Tuesday at 10 o'clock for the next few months. Not that we all need another meeting, but if we can keep it to an hour, I think we'll be able to give some more timely information to the community. And, certain department heads cannot make it. We certainly understand. We understand everyone's busy, but I think at least for the next few months, we should go back to twice a month with these EMT meetings, just to keep the information flowing for the community. And again, it's, always able to look it up or watch it, stream it after the fact, because, everything is being digitally recorded. So that's all I have for the fire department. And I'll turn to Chief Hurley.
Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. And again, concur with that. I think as we're moving through some future times here with vaccinations and the cases and stuff, I think these were very helpful starting last March when we were running them. So I'm glad to see that we'll keep moving with that to just keep the information flowing with the community. Again, vaccinations, we are finishing up this week. As the chief stated, we have a majority of our staff that has taken the vaccination, with a few exceptions of some staff members. And we hope actually today we'll be wrapping up those that are seeking the vaccination. And then round 2, we are looking at the week of February 9th to finish the second shot with all the staff. So it's very exciting. As Hillary stated, this has not been a perfect rollout. It's been frustrating at points, even for first responders, waiting this long, but it has arrived, and we're just being patient about it and moving forward on it. The Wellfleet Well line is, just wanted me to send out another reminder again, starting in February, they're going to attempt to do some weekly Zoom meetings. And again, that's just a line if you just need an ear to talk to, somebody to speak with. They are either current or retired medical professionals that are volunteering their time to do this. And their number is 508-514-1633. They are on social media. And like I stated, I know they're going to try to get some Zoom meetings going in February, maybe a coffee hour or just chat, or, just kind of bring everybody's anxiety level down a bit about the cases and the vaccinations, hopefully. Also, just want to mention the Navigator program again. And I know usually when we're bringing it up, it's always geared towards mental health and substance abuse, which sometimes go hand in hand. But also remember, they are very well versed, and part of their task is to also assist with housing, food needs, kind of cutting through the bureaucratic red tape that some people run up against with stuff. So it is a very well put together program, and those that are running it throughout Cape Health, they're very responsive and attentive. So again, not just for mental health and substance abuse. If you're struggling with some other support systems, please give them a call, and hopefully they will be able to either help or get you in the right direction there. COVID spending, needless to say, myself and Chief Pauly since June have been dealing with the CARES Act and FEMA, and to say that it's been a smooth process would be a lie. However, through months of navigation and reimbursements and rethinking things through, it is looking like through the CARES Act, which is the state's portion of COVID reimbursement, and FEMA, that the town of Wellfleet should just about be breaking even with our spending. So that's great news. There possibly could be some more COVID spending available as we move forward. As we all know, this is not ending tomorrow nor next week. So, that was some exciting news, because there was a period of time in the fall, FEMA was backtracking on what they were covering, which was exposing a lot of communities to a lot of money. So the state stepped in and has begun reimbursing communities for 100% that FEMA is not covering. So again, that's good news for the town. It is a final off COVID note, and as Paul stated, the building inspector, we've conducted a few security walkthroughs with two of our marijuana dispensaries. One is Cape Cod Cannabis, which is the old general store, and the Piping Plover, which is the old bank on Main Street. And it looks like, depending on scheduling and the Cannabis Commission, that within the next month or two, both of those businesses are anticipate opening. So that is also on our radar. It's going to be different. It's going to be in unfortunately two really tough traffic areas that we're going to work with both businesses on and try to keep things moving. So it's kind of a non-COVID thing, but expect in the next month or two to see those two open. And as Paul stated, the third one inside Cove's Corner is also the third license that is moving forward. So that's it this morning, Chief. Any questions or?
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief Hurley? Do you see any, Rebecca?
Nope,
I
I don't
don't.
see any hands up.
Okay. We'll move right along then to Town Administration. Good morning again, Maria. Do you have anything to update us on?
Good morning. No, I think I was, taking some feedback from the community about signs down at the marina and maybe some signs on Main Street to encourage wearing a mask. So we're going to work with Public Works and with Will on those things. Also, making sure that those that are in town hall and other places that have a PC that does not allow them easily to use Zoom, so we can get some proper equipment for folks to be able to do that. Microphones, cameras, that sort of thing, because it's really awkward if your PC's not set up to do that. It's sort of an obnoxious process. If you are set up to do it, I anticipate that we're going to continue to Zoom a lot of meetings even after this is all over, because it's way more efficient than having people travel, where it doesn't matter if we're still in the same room. I think it's sort of a new trick that I anticipate we'll still keep doing in a lot of instances. Beyond that, we had the governor's orders extended to the 24th, I think. We're still encouraging folks to work from home if they can, if it suits the nature of their job, and just be vigilant. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the Town Administrator?
I don't
Okay.
see anything, Chief.
Thank you, Rebecca. And we'll move on to, I see Ms. Wilson's on the line. Helen, do you have anything? Nope, she says no. Okay.
Yeah, no, I already gabbed enough. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I see Mr. Curley's on the line. Ryan, do you have anything for us?
No, just that hospitalizations remain high for COVID, and that it's still transmitting at a pretty quick pace, and for just everyone to make sure to keep wearing the masks. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, I need to do a shout out to Rebecca before we go any further here, because this is the first, I think, her official time of running our Zoom meeting as the executive assistant to the Town Administrator and the Select Board. So she's stepping up and stepping in, and I appreciate that very much. Any questions at all? Do you see any, Rebecca, before we close it out?
I just want to give a shout out to Hillary. Being a Board of Health member myself, Janet Drohan, she has just been amazingly wonderful for this town and for our battle with COVID. So thank you, Hillary, so much. And doesn't everybody love her new hairdo? I love it. I love it. And that's the end. That's all I'm going to say.
You don't like our hairdos, Janet?
Yeah, come on, Janet. Any other questions at all before we sign off? I'm looking at the calendar and I'll just reconfirm with Chief Hurley, but it looks like February 2nd will be our next EMT meeting then at 10 o'clock. Again, going every other Tuesday in between the select board's scheduled meetings. So let's plan on that, but you'll see something posted when we firm it up. And if
Yeah.
anyone else. Anyone, any questions?
I don't see any.
Okay. Everyone, please stay safe and look after each other, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.